Today we're back talking about spring cleaning your love life. Are you hoarding emotional clutter in your love life? It's time for a deep cleaning, because if your heart's a storage unit for bad habits, old flames, and expired situations, there's no room for the real thing. Good morning, LoveMinded Crew. Welcome to Coffee with Coach Constance, your weekly love life check-in to sip our coffee, strategize your relationships, and set yourself up for success in relationships. If you're new here, I'm Coach Constance, your dating and relationship strategist, here to help you stop second-guessing your love life and attract the love you're actually worthy of. And today, we're spring cleaning your heart. What's cluttering up your love life right now? What old habits, relationships, or thoughts need to go? What are you making space for? What if the only thing standing between you and the love you want is the junk you refuse to throw away? I remember the moment I decided to clear out the old energy from a past relationship, and it wasn't just about moving on, it was about making space for something better. I went through my home. I gathered everything that reminded me of that chapter. I even had a gift that was a cutting board that he gave me. So I even got rid of the cutting board. Getting down to brass tacks, figuring out what little thing holds their DNA. Anything that once felt sentimental but now feels heavy. I even got rid of the bed sheets and the actual bed. I wanted to start fresh. And because I was doing this work for the courtship dating that we do here, I was pretty current and didn't have many thoughts of what could I've, should I have, or did I, could, shoulda, woulda, is that the saying? Coulda, shoulda, woulda done differently? What could have I said or done? I didn't have much of that because I was current through the relationship. I was doing my part, hoping to God he did his part, and I knew I was doing everything that was best for me in the moment that it was happening. When we look back, it's for lessons or blessings, to see the lessons and blessings, not to beat ourselves up or looking back, hindsight 2020, and having information in the present that we can say, then I should have made this decision in the past. We make decisions in the moment that are best for us based on the variables we have, and if we do that process, we don't regret the past so much. So everything is energy, and when we hold on to it, we're holding on to energy. And I was done being tethered to the past, so I let it go. I donated, I trashed it, even burned some pages that carried too much weight, the journaling, the overthinking. And then I saged my place, I opened the windows, and I declared I'm making room for love that feels easy, joyful, and aligned. It worked. Within weeks, quality men started coming into my life, men who were emotionally available, who showed up with intention, and who made me realize that the love I had settled for before was nothing compared to what I was truly worthy of. So at the time, it was the best I could do. So if you keep doing this work, remember it's the person you're with or someone better, because you are working on the tools. You are getting healthier tools, healthier behaviors. You're saying and doing healthier things, so it will evolve into a healthier situation. Now, a lot of times, water seeks its own level, so we'll meet people, we have similar lessons, but if we continue to grow, we might outgrow them. They either get healthier or we get sicker to then be compatible again. And that's your choice. No judgment, but realize that's a choice. Make it conscious. Spring cleaning isn't just for closets. It's for your heart as well. And now's the time. Thursday is spring. Woohoo! We already went through the time change. That was a little rough for me. Time change. I thought it would be easier with the extra hour, but it took me like a week to adjust to that. But Thursday is spring. I am doing a love lab for that freebie handout, Create Your Ideal Man profile, quick guide, and we can dive a little deeper in that. And then Monday, I'm doing the 5-day challenge for Reset Your Love Story, where you can dive deeper in this cleaning out of the past and getting actionable to participate in your own love story. So I'm going to go over 3 simple steps to get you going. You can start this today. You can start this right now. Step 1, we want to ditch the dusty dudes, the dusty people, and the dating disasters. If love isn't sparking joy, it's time to Marie Kondo that ship and reclaim your peace. So let's talk about what needs to go. You want to ask yourself, Who or what is draining my love energy? Is this a deal breaker for me? Am I repeating the same patterns and expecting different results? Am I sticking around for deal breakers and expecting the deal breaker to not be there anymore when it's something that's not mutable or that I'm not speaking up to? They're not mind readers. Do I feel excited or exhausted by my current dating life? And then you want to sort out the situation. You want to look for those deal breakers or the lessons, stay for the lessons, or you'll repeat them, but get the lessons. Some of those lessons may be having a voice and a vote, setting your boundaries and no longer accepting what doesn't work for you, clearing out what doesn't work for you. So what to toss immediately? The situationship that only gives you crumbs instead of a full meal. Are they showing up for casual just for today? Or is it for building a possible future? That means it's a situationship if your goal is to have that long-term relationship. The ex who texts, "Hey stranger," every time Mercury goes into retrograde, those people that linger, there's ways to flush that out and decide what is it they want from you. Is this just extra energy that is sucking up your time? And remember, time is precious. You can't get that back. And the habit of saying, "I'm fine," when you're really not fine. That's disconnecting. That's choosing to be emotionally unavailable. Tap into your feelings. Express them from your adult to their adult to adult we're looking for, not parent and child, and have a voice and a vote. And then come up with a mantra, something to affirm what you're doing. And you can say it with me. One of my favorites is, "I am worthy of love that feels fresh, easy, and real. No more reruns. I'm worthy of love that feels fresh, easy, and real. No more reruns for me today." What about polishing your love standards? This is an easy step, too, that you can look at today. Polishing your love standards. Decluttering isn't just about what you remove. It's about what you make space for. What love standards are you actually living by? Might be a little bit deeper work if you actually don't know your love standards, if you don't know your deal breakers and your boundaries. But if you do, take a look at them and do a little refresh. Ask yourself, what are my absolute yeses in life? What am I no longer available for? How do I want to feel in my relationship or in my next relationship? There's some new love ideas for spring. I choose partners who respect my boundaries or cherish my boundaries, not test them. I make space for someone who adds to my joy, not my stress. I prioritize chemistry and compatibility because fireworks fizzle without foundation. Now, this is easier said than done, and sometimes, for instance, my husband can be a very grumpy Gus, but that's part of the 49% crapola I chose to accept. So I don't want to just think, "Oh, he's a grumpy guy, so I'm going to cut him out of my life. That'll make my life easier." So I used to say I have no problems with my relationships because I didn't have intimate relationships as far as romance went. So I don't have any problems. So yeah, you can keep cutting out things and end up having absolutely no problems because there's nobody in your life. So you want to sort out what's the deal breakers. What are you willing to accept? And if you accept it. And then I call that my up to 49% cry. When that stuff that's his crapola shows up that I accepted, I do negotiate to make it as best as it can be, but then accept that I accepted it and not give him a bill and try to change him when he's doing the best he can. And like I said, if you want to go deeper, join the Love Story Reset Challenge. I encourage you to do that. It's the spring edition. We'll clear out the old, bring in the new, and leave with real, tangible love steps that lead to limitless love. You can text me. You can find me on Instagram, all socials, at Coach Constance. Send a message there that you're interested, and I will get you the details. All right, step 3, attract your dream relationship. And we're turning our dream relationship into reality here. And it is possible. And they are out there looking for you. And they may be standing right in front of you. You may actually be married to them. So your love life is a reflection of your energy. Let's set the vibe for romance and call in the relationship we actually dream of. Love rituals to try this week. Write a love list. What does your ideal relationship look and feel like? Flirt with life. Smile, make eye contact, radiate good energy, and not look at it so much for the result. Like, I'm going out to flirt so I can attract a man so I can spend the rest of my life with him. Take off the pressure, flirt with life. Get out there and just connect with people. You never know. Maybe somebody you connect with at the farmer's market has a brother, has a relative, has a friend that's looking for someone. And reply to that text with confidence. Don't overthink things. Reply to things with confidence and stay out of overthinking. Spring isn't just for cleaning, it's for blooming. Be the prize, and the right person will see that. Don't accept less for yourself. Time for the love seat. Press 941 to raise your hand if you have a question, a celebration, a gratitude. We'd love to hear from you. Your love life is one decision away from transformation. Let's answer your burning questions. It could be on this topic or it could be on any topic if you have something on your heart. This morning call is for you. It's for me, for you. I do it because I enjoy it and helps keep me on track. However, it's for you, and your time is precious, and I respect your time. I want everyone to have a place to go to get answers, to get this information, to have a better love story, to have better love in their lives. That makes better love in the world, which makes my world even better. Hi there.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Morning. Excellent.
Good. Thanks for your start. I like the idea of cleaning house and having a fresh start. I wanted to ask you, I opened the door and I asked my boyfriend how much he loved me, and his response was, I don't know. What is that, just me settling and me catching him off guard? Or it's not the response I was expecting, and it hurts.
So one thing is the feminine doesn't want to interview as far as gathering data to find out if they're the one or not. Okay. And also, if you are asking questions, you want to set it up respectfully. I have an intimate question to ask you about our relationship. Is now a bad time? You want to do positive stroke? I enjoy you in my life, and I'm curious how much you love me. Now, the feminine doesn't want to ask for that more, better, or different time, love, or affection. You want to remember you're the prize, and you're attracting everyone you're attracting, and you accept the person you feel most wanted by, that you feel loved by. And one of my favorite quotes by Dr. Pat Allen, one of my most influential mentors, was, the only way you know you love yourself and others are by the agreements you're willing to make and keep. So you pay attention to that. Is love being demonstrated that way? And also, there's the 5 languages of love theory. People show love in different ways. Saying I love you is words of affirmation. But some people show they love someone by gifts, by touch, by deeds of service, by time and focus. A popular thing when there's divorce, when the man's working a lot, is he doesn't love me. The woman would say, he doesn't love me. And he'll say, what do you mean I don't love you? I bring home the money, I pay all the bills, I mow the lawn, I'm here. And that's his way of saying I love you. So you want to watch for what's his love language, for how he gives and receives love. Because maybe our love language is words of affirmation and we say it to them, but that's not how they receive love. They might receive love in different ways. So we want to listen to our relationship, listen to their love language and how they give and receive it, and think about your own, how you give and receive it. Now, it sounds, if you ask that question, it may be words of affirmation are important to you. So maybe communicating, I want to share something, and I enjoy my time with you, and I love receiving from you, and I do have a request. I enjoy words of affirmation, and what do you think about being mindful to tell me words of affirmations more? Because he's also not a mind reader. So those are things to think about.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Hi there.
Hi, Constance. It's Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi, and thank you for helping me privately over this weekend. I ended up breaking up with my widower boyfriend. I just let him know how uncomfortable I was with the hot and cold, and he said he was sorry that he doesn't know what's going on in him and he doesn't know what the future holds. And we had the nicest goodbye. He did hint at maybe I would wait for him 3-6 months.
Okay.
But then he said, I don't want to give you any hope that I'm not even sure of. And I said, I thank you for that, because I don't think hope is good for me. I need to get on with my love story. And we said goodbye in the nicest way.
Okay.
But I know he's going to call. He's going to start missing me. I think I'm the best thing that ever happened to him personally, and he's very arrogant.
Okay.
I think he's going to start calling me in 3 or 4 weeks, and I've actually already new dates with men who made more available. Love this man dearly. If he calls me, what do I say? If he does, and I think he will.
Okay, great question. When we are using this courtship system, we say not eliminate. And the feminine doesn't necessarily break up. with the man. They set their boundary and say, I appreciate you want to do this. This is my boundary. I appreciate you want that. This is my boundary. And it may become incompatible, and they have a choice to either keep doing whatever the deal breaker is or change it to become compatible with us. Now, when we mutate, it might be, I appreciate all you've done and all we've experienced together as a monogamous couple. I'm no longer comfortable being monogamous due to A, B, and C. If that changes for you, I'm happy to hear about it. And maybe you want to be open for him to court you, because with this courtship system, we are available until we're not. Every man has a shot. The best man wins, and we're hoping it's not us. And so he goes back into the pool of people. But if there's a deal breaker, like maybe they're active with drugs and that's a deal breaker, when they circle back, if you set a deal breaker, the first thing you want to do is find out, is the deal breaker still there? Because if the deal breaker is still there, we don't build. So when they reach out, we are happy, in love with ourselves, sharing it with the world. There's no judgment. We're respectful. It's nice to be kind and considerate, but the most important thing, communicating with them, is to be respectful. And they call and we say hello, and they say hello, and we pause and hear what they want. And if they start talking in casual conversation, we say, I appreciate you called. Before we go any further, I'm curious, is this still there? And then you say, I appreciate you reaching out, and the deal is still there. So unfortunately, I'm not comfortable having casual conversation. If that deal breaker changes for you, or you change your mind or whatever it is, you're welcome to reach out to me. Now, if there's not a deal breaker, it sounds like maybe dive a little deeper into the situation and get clear. Is it a deal breaker, or is it something that was more of a deal breaker for being monogamous? And then he's welcome to court you like all the other men and see if he becomes the number one and offers you enough to take you off the market at some point.
Okay.
That sounds more like that.
It's pulling information out of him about what's going on is hard, and he's not forthcoming, and I'm not sure what that is about in him. I think he wants his cake and eat it.
And that's a little bit, pulling information out of them is a little similar to the last caller who was asking, how much do you love me? When we know our worthiness and we're the prize, we're not there to convince them of anything. They're there to convince us they're the best man on the planet for us that wants us.
My bottom line question to him would be, which I was too afraid to ask, is, are you hot and cold because of your grief? Are you hot and cold because you just want to date around for a little while? Or are you hot and cold because you realize I'm not the one for you and you don't want to?
Okay, finding out the why is a bit irrelevant. And that has us up in our head. They might not even know why. What matters is you're not enjoying the hot and cold. And that it's getting to the point that you don't want to experience the hot and cold.
Okay.
So it would be more approaching him, hey, I want to talk to you about our interacting. Is now a bad time? And then the positive stroke, you're a good man, you're the best man that came into my life, or whatever positive stroke. I'm feeling abandoned, I'm feeling uncertain, I'm feeling sad about the hot and cold I'm experiencing. They might not even see that they're doing hot and cold. They might not even know what that means. Sometimes the hot and cold is not their bill because they're going into their cave and they're coming back out. It matters, is there a broken agreement? If they say they're going to talk to us or reach out to us every 3 days and they don't do that, then we have an agreement to go on. To get more clarity on the hot and cold and how you want to set up your agreements, how to ask for from the feminine what you need to feel good.
Okay.
And so to define what is that hot and cold, not so much why, but what are you experiencing that gives you the idea it's hot and cold? Is it not being communicated with enough? Is it radio silence? Is it someone not returning your texts or your calls? So to get clear on that so you're able to communicate to them. Just saying hot and cold can be vague, and then the more vague the communication, the more gamey the whole situation.
Yeah, I'm vague because I'm always afraid of the truth or afraid to find out the truth, so I stay vague, and that's a bad thing.
And that might be the lesson here. It's not about good or bad, right or wrong. There's no judgment. It's just, so my lesson might be how to have a voice and a vote and communicate more my needs and negotiate with love. I'm okay, you're okay, we're communicating to see how compatible we are to play. Right now, it started separating out to incompatibility. So I encourage you to do the love story reset and see where that all fits in and how you want to move forward with your courtship dating. Maybe you don't want to cut him off completely because it doesn't sound like a hard deal breaker, and he does still express some wanting.
Yeah,
so
he said
it's not
all that still.
Which is wonderful, but it's not that you're giving him anything. You're not giving him 3 to 6 months. You're available for him to court you, but someone else might win in a month, in a week.
But I can't give anyone else attention when I think he's still in the picture because my heart will keep shifting over to him.
So that might be part of the lesson too. Yes, our heart shifts over, especially if they got in. We're super glued to them, and that's nature pairing us off. But that's going to be the case. We want to date to gain at least 3 contenders. And the one starts winning by default. 2, we start bifurcating and comparing them back and forth. 3, we start reaching what I call chemistry confusion, and we're not so hyper-focused that we go prematurely monogamous with them. So you want to respect his lead. He's not monogamous with you. He's not choosing you yet. So don't choose him before he chooses you.
He chose me and reeled me in out of widower desperation.
But that's irrelevant why.
Okay.
It was you experienced enough to accept him into your life to go off the market. So now what you've experienced is no longer enough to keep you off the market.
Right.
So now he goes back into the pool of people that are courting you, and you experience all your suitors to experience who's enough to go off the market.
I agree. I think when he calls, I'm going to ask to find out if the deal breaker's still there.
Are you clear on the deal breaker?
Yeah, I don't want to just date him at this point. We've been together a year.
The problem is if there's a mutable deal breaker, I call it a mutable deal breaker. If it's something that can be mutated and he can change or choose differently or do differently, you do not want to just hear him say it and then go back off the market. You want time for him to build a positive, trustworthy record that it's no longer there.
Okay.
And that it's enough. And there's not a way to do that if you immediately accept just words and go off the market. It would be for him to court you again.
Okay. Oh my gosh, thanks.
Okay, you're welcome. Excellent. Thank you for going in. It really helps when we hear people we hear your fabulous voices, and we're a community. There's no judgment here, and that's all the time we have for the Love Seat. And I encourage people, it'll be a very small cohort for Thursday night for the Create Ideal Man profile, and then that leads into the challenge if you want to continue on with some more steps for the challenge. And until next time, I'm sending you love, love.